Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live 10 at 10.
We have new information now on a story that you only saw on Valley News Live at 6 o'clock earlier tonight. Thanks for joining us. Mike has the evening off. A man is behind bars after several law enforcement agencies worked together to stop his vehicle during a high-speed chase earlier this evening, where they were reaching speeds of more than 75 miles an hour. 44-year-old Michael Spivey is now in custody. Spivey has no permanent address and began to run after officers stopped a stolen vehicle with stop sticks. Spivey is charged with DUI, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, reckless endangerment, and fleeing in a motor vehicle. Now, the Minnesota State Patrol initiated the chase after a report of a stolen vehicle, and then Spivey sped into North Dakota in this moving van and then on I-29 north of Fargo. Cass County Sheriff's officials said Spivey made an aggressive move at the patrolman who laid the stop sticks.
At one point in time, the trooper was able to use some spike strips and take out two of the front tires of this vehicle, which disabled the vehicle. Eventually, the vehicle could not drive any further and went into the ditch up here.
Now, the vehicle's tires were punctured, but it continued to drive north of Fargo for several minutes. Eventually, it began to slow down as those tires lost air, as he said. It hit the ditch near Gardner. That's about 25 miles north of Fargo. The truck was stolen from Hill Rum Company. A Minnesota woman is calling out the sheriff's office for a second time. Back in October, her horse was gunned down in her own backyard in Red Lake Falls. And since then, 3 more horses in the area have been shot. 6 months have passed and she still has no answers. Investigators in Pennington County tell Valley News Team's Christina Craig why they don't have any suspects just yet.
My horse was shot in the middle of its field, in the pasture, shot. Twice.
This is video from our interview with Tiffany Cross last October when she first reached out to us, looking for answers. 6 months later, Cross is still waiting. Investigators haven't made much progress, and unfortunately, history is repeating itself.
It just seems like, you know, anybody can get away with just killing someone's pet or animal, and you know, nothing's going to happen to them.
In January, a Thief River Falls family woke up one morning to discover 2 of their horses shot dead and a 3rd injured right outside of their home. The 2 families demand justice, but they may not get answers anytime soon.
Without having anything, it's pretty tough. Pretty tough. We got to have something so we can, you know, even if we find the person, be able to charge them with it.
Investigators are shaking their heads, frustrated at the lack of leads and trying to track down who's responsible for these shootings. And in both cases, evidence was destroyed, making it all the more challenging.
We all have pets and we know how close they're part of our family. And it's very disturbing. And whoever did this, we want to be held or hold them accountable.
It happened twice now in this same area, and who's to say that it's not going to happen to somebody else?
Authorities are checking any possible leads and, like Cross, are asking for the public's help to bring justice to light. In Red Lake Falls, Christina Craig, Valley News Live.
Investigators also add that this didn't happen during hunting season. They're not sure if this is a random act or if the 2 are connected. If you know about anything about who's responsible for these shootings or any tip, call the Pennington County Sheriff's Office. The number's on your screen, 218-681-6161. They're also offering a $500 reward to anyone who comes forward with information leading to an arrest and a conviction. Powdered alcohol could be coming to a liquor store near you. It's known as Palcohol. You just add water and you've got a cocktail. Opponents of the new substance say that it will simply be easier now to smuggle alcohol in where it shouldn't be, into schools. But the maker of Palcohol says it's going to be a big hit in the great outdoors, and many outdoors lovers agree.
It definitely appeals to people that are outdoor enthusiasts because, like you mentioned, the lightweight nature of it, it can really take up almost no space.
A proposal is being written up right now in the Minnesota legislature to ban powdered alcohol outright, something a handful of states have already done. A man familiar to area law enforcement is back in custody after allegedly raping and assaulting a woman in North Fargo. Ayub Haji Abukar is facing 4 counts: gross sexual imposition, simple assault, and 2 counts of reckless endangerment. Abukar has been charged in Cass County Court more than 30 times since 2005. The crimes range from DUI, drug charges, to carrying a concealed firearm, burglary, theft, and aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. Well, the Fargo Police Department is searching for a missing woman. Ariana Lee Poitras was last seen on March 5th wearing a purple shirt, black leggings, knee-high white socks, gold-colored Ugg boots, and a gray leather coat. She's about 5'5", 140 pounds. She wears glasses about half of the time and has tattoos all over her right hand. If you have any information on her whereabouts, please contact the Fargo Police Department at 701-235-4493. And if you ever need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576. Leave your tip, and a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth. For all those Eagles fans out there, the Alaris Center made a big announcement today. The famous band's going to be making a stop in Grand Forks this summer. The concert's on Friday, June 5th at 8 p.m. Tickets go on sale Friday, March 20th at 10 a.m. Prices will start at $59. The history of the Eagles tour will also be in Sioux Falls if you miss it in Grand Forks. That concert's June 4th at the new Denny Sanford Premier Center. Many high school and college teams and groups have to fundraise for their activities. And like so many other things today, the fundraising landscape is changing. It's going digital. The NDSU Women's Hockey Club finally got back after taking first place at Nationals, but they almost didn't get there. The team only had 3 weeks to raise extra money that they needed for travel expenses. So they used a website called GoFundMe. Some people think this digital way of fundraising gives groups like this an easy way out. They think the digital way takes away learning the importance of personal contact and work ethic. But many others, like the hockey club, disagree, saying it gives other friends from all across the U.S. and the world to donate.
We needed that extra push to be able to make the trip happen. Without that, we would have had to pay out of pocket, and we might have not been able to go have the opportunity to win a national championship.
Now, like many other fundraising organizations, though, the GoFundMe website takes 5% off each donation for their expenses. Lake homes up and down Battle Lake, Minnesota and Lakes Country have property damage, all thanks to Mother Nature. Ice on the lake has pushed up into people's yards, shoving up dirt and rocks in the yards, destroying landscape and worrying homeowners there. Valley News Team's Macy Enger dug into some of the damage and found out why all this is happening.
Rocks tumble into walkways. There's jumbled flower pots. And if you look closely, you can see a sign.
It's all in a big pile.
West Battle Lake Community Park needs repair. Thanks to ice heaves, rock and soil pushed into yards up and down the Battle Lake, Minnesota shoreline.
Oh, wow. Like, I didn't think that was possible.
It tends to happen when the area gets hit suddenly with warm temperatures and very little snow over the winter months. But people who live in Battle Lake say they haven't seen anything like this.
I've lived and guided and fished in the Ottertail and Battle Lake area for, like I said, a lot of years, and I haven't seen it come up on the Battle Lake shoreline like this.
This is probably the worst I've seen here on West Battle Lake in many years. I grew up in this town, so it's pretty bad.
For people with lake houses, it's hard to prevent damage like this from happening or to know where it could happen.
So this is one of those Mother Nature things, and I think Mother Nature always wins eventually.
There's so much force behind the ice and frost that there's nothing that you can do.
Yeah, it could be pretty expensive in certain areas.
Like this small lakefront park, where only the statue remains standing.
That was Macy Enger reporting for lake homeowners worried about property damage. Ottertail County does have an ice damage repair policy in place to help with costs. To find out some more details, we've attached a link to our website. Head to valleynewslive.com.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with No Wait Weather.
Well, one thing's for certain, that the ice is coming out of area lakes. So
it is. You can see open water.
Right, and it won't be long. Our ground will see some of the frost come out of it, but it was deeper this year without that snow to insulate the ground. The frost depth pretty deep out there. Temperatures so feeling awesome out there. Outdoors this evening, we're still very nice. The Skycam shows that we are quiet outdoors, clear skies and 48 degrees. We do have some thin high clouds out there, but generally Very quiet, light south-southwest winds. If you missed it, take a gander at today. Now, we had clouds moving in different directions in the upper atmosphere, lower winds crossing with upper level winds, and just a real treat at sunset as the colors mixed in the western sky, providing us with another dandy close to a dandy day with record-breaking temperatures. Fargo, 63, a new record high, breaking one set back in 1910. 59, a record high for Grand Forks as well. And how about Jamestown? 67 sizzling degrees. Temperatures in Lakes Country were in the upper 50s and low 60s for most, unless you look up there at Roseau, a little cooler in northern Roseau County. 37 now the current temperature. 48 in Valley City, Oaks at 50. Devil's Lake, though, a little cooler there as well. 41-degree evening. Fergus Falls, by the way, at 52 degrees. And here's a look at the radar. We do see a little bit of weak activity out there, some sprinkle drops falling from those clouds, and we actually saw some of that on the Skycam pass through the FM area, but it evaporated before it reached the ground. So no raindrops for us, and likely none of this reaching the ground out in Lakes Country. Planning forecast overnight. It looks like a quiet one out there with most of the clouds clearing until we watch this surge moving in. Take a look at this here. This is clouds associated with a cold front that'll be sagging southward overnight. Temperatures will be coldest as we rise and shine on our Friday morning up near the international border, and we'll have a chance at some isolated flurries or freezing drizzle drops, the pink that you see right here. So be aware there could be a few slippery spots on roads, especially up north. There could be an isolated flurry with this activity as it moves through the south, but other than that, that's it. And we'll call this a cool front as opposed to a cold front. Yes, it comes with wind and slightly cooler temperatures. Wind gusts upwards of 25 miles per hour, clearing skies by midday as temperatures rise to the 40s for almost everyone involved. Still scattered sprinkles in northwest Minnesota. In the afternoon, the northwest wind continues at around 15 to 20 miles per hour, but we break the 50s once again. Therefore, we drop a few degrees off of the beautiful record high temperatures today, about 7 to 13 degrees cooler for your Friday afternoon. But the clear skies and the mild conditions look to return in earnest for your weekend ahead. So for the overnight, look at this. Not a lot of change with a flat line on temperatures. We'll dip into the 40s. Wind increases as that cold front blasts through. But then after that, temperatures rise back into the mid-50s for Fargo. Elsewhere, 55 Jamestown tomorrow afternoon at 3. Langdon will have 43 degrees and temperatures between 39 in chilly Roseau to 49 in Wadena. Fergus Falls and the Battle Lake area will see more melting on the big Battle Lake there at temperatures near 50. Planning forecast shows Saturday a return to some near record-like temperatures in the 60s. And yes, I think 70 for a hot Sunday. Get out the barbecue and grill you some hot dogs or whatever, because after that, temperatures fall back to reality. We'll be in the 40s for almost the entirety of our Leprechaun week as we enjoy, well, Friday the 13th tomorrow, and then old St. Patty's Day there on Tuesday. Hutcho Johnson saying 45 degrees for the high temperature.
And a great weekend for the parade, for the
you bet.
Parade, and everything.
Parade weather. It's definitely parade weather.
And sprinkler weather.
Yes.
Still to come at 10, why GM is cutting its longtime warranty on its vehicles. But first, smoking age up to 21 or 25? What new research says about how this could actually help cut down on the number of smokers.